Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our weekly commodities update video. This is our analysis on natural gas, oil, US dollar, gold, and silver. We'll be looking at bull scenarios as well as bear scenario with unbiased opinions and give us better understanding of where price might head to for their next week. And if you guys are looking for the stock market update video where I did the Mag 7s as well as the overall market and datas as well, check out the video from yesterday and let's get started on natural gas. All right, natural gas pretty much just going sideways. A little bit of a bear, still leaning on the bear side because natural gas is just a bear trending name. And overall, I talked about this. Even though we had this big bounce here, a 16% bounce, is still a longer picture bear flag, right? So we take the top of the move, which is here, right? This is the last pivot that we formed to the bottom of the move. That's one move, right? You can see this is one initial move, and we measure the bounce. So we measure this bounce, and we're still pretty much right. We didn't really get over this 0.382 area, so we consider this still a weak bounce, right? Technically speaking, if you're over the 0.82 box, right, this yellow box, you are not in the bear flag territory anymore. But because of all these rejections here, we can just say this is still a weak bounce overall. And it's still in a weekly downtrend, right? We have been in a weekly downtrend since up here, right? This is the first lower high and lower low, breaking this prior low. And that's the weekly downtrend confirmed right here, right when this low broke. And it's just been still going in a weekly downtrend. So we have not changed the trend yet. So technically speaking, it's still in bear's favor at the moment. That being said, I mean, we are going into a season, right? Obviously, going into the winter. Winter obviously favors natural gas. But that being said, we have seen winters that have pretty bearish actions, right? I mean, just look at this. From, let's see, give an example here. All right, I mean, this is November, right? This is October going into the winter, and then, right, look at how bearish this price ended up becoming, right? So I mean, it's all relative, right? It's depending on where the price is at and going into it. But that being said, we are at the lows, obviously, right? So going into winter may help us, giving us a little bit of a bounce here. Even here into the winter, right? Even here as well, we were pretty low. We just got this a huge drop, and then September, October into December, November, and then we got this another waterfall here, right? So it's not always the case, but we'll have to see how cold this winter ends up being, right? All that kind of stuff. That being said, I just follow the price action because if it's gonna be a cold winter, we will see uptrends, and that will give us clues that bulls are, defending these levels, and they want to buy these levels and form uptrends, and that's when we can potentially get into some bullish longer term holds. At the moment, we are holding 3.1, which is pretty much last level support, right? You can see how many times we try to hold it here. We held it here around for like a whole 2 weeks only, and if we break here, we're pretty much going to come down to this low, which is this prior low, 2.986. If we break that, all we have is this guy left, which is that low will be 2.938. If we break these two and this, I'm just going to be looking at the maroon line. I just moved it again. Okay, one sec. Yeah, it's roughly there. So this maroon line, longer term resistance, reject here like 10 times. Now, if we come down to it, right, if we break this 3.1 and then break these 2.8s, all these levels, and we break this last level here, 2.938, I'm just going to be looking at this maroon line to see if it acts as support. Prior resistance will act as support now because price is coming from above it, and let's see if it bounces. If we don't hold 3.1, which is currently what the bulls are doing, then super clear resistance, right? You want to break 3.4 if you're a bull here. Right, we've been rejecting here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times around this level. Every chart looks a little bit different in mine, right? Make sure to click this adjust it for contract changes, right? So you don't have all these contract gaps everywhere. Those are just when it rolls over, you get these contract gaps. Yeah, so we'll see if bulls can play defense here. We are going a little sideways, but it's still favoring the bears. After 60% move down and you're consolidating at the lows, that's a win for the bears, right? It's like similar idea to like gold, right? Go moving up like millions of percent and then still consolidating at the highs. That's a good sign for the bulls. So yeah, so let's see if bulls can show up. If not, it's tough to play this name at this moment, I would say. They're trying to go either long or short. It's not giving us very much clarity at the moment or clear trend. All right, let's take a look at oil. If you guys are looking for more technical analysis, and if you guys want to learn more about that, check out the Patreon link for one-on-ones, or if you just want to support the free channel, feel free to go over there and support the channel. And all likes and share are always appreciated. And let's continue on with oil. So oil broke out of our tightening range, right? Lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Just means the high is lower than the prior high. All these pivots. Higher low, higher low, higher low. Each low is higher than the prior low. So it's called higher low. And then we have this tightening range bull break here. So got a little bit of follow through so far. So bulls are following through for 3 days. So that is a good sign. But they need to clear, they really need to clear it right here, the 66.3. See, there's a lot of resistance here. Right, reject, 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 reject. So let's see if they can clear it. We got a little bit of rejection here again, but after a 4-day move, right, into resistance, a little bit of rejection isn't anything crazy. In fact, it's pretty normal. Pull back a little bit after forward, right? 4 or 5 days of upside into a strong resistance. Pulling back is fine. What I want to see here is when we do pull back, we don't want to give back too much, right? The shallow pullback into 64, roughly this area was prior resistance, into becoming support. So if that started to access support again, right, you can see lots of support here and into resistance now. Now price is above it, so it should act as support. So if it comes down, we want to see act as support and then bounce. And if we can break above the 66.3, next target looking at would be 68. For bears, it's a bit tough because we just broke out of a 3-month long tightening range on the bull side. So if it were to fail, it would want to pretty much give it all back after this move, right? If it does come back all the way down here like this, then you can play for that lower high on that weak bounce and potentially short that lower high, play for the next move. But for now, you'll be fighting momentum. But we do have a clear resistance level you can play off of if that's what you're into. All right, let's take a look at dollar. Big bounce this week. We actually formed a daily uptrend here. A little bit of follow through, which makes sense. We have been in this kind of like this range wedge looking thing for a while now. We're just right underneath resistance, right? Reject, 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 reject. So if we can get over this 98.5, which is also this downtrending resistance that we had here, back up here, multiple rejections here, we're just coming right into it. So if we can break about 98.7, there's a good chance we're going to come up to test this 99.8. And then $100 psychological level, pretty much. If bears reject right here, which pretty much they need to reject right here, we're going to go back into this chip chop again. It's between 96.7 and 98.7. So we'll see which way this sideways tiny range could end up breaking out soon. A lot of job numbers next week. So weaker job number means more rate cuts, and more rate cuts means usually it means lower dollar, but because dollar has dropped so much already, 12.4%. So I wouldn't say I don't think we have that much downside anymore to it, to be honest, unless we start breaking these support, which we haven't. Right, this was pretty much the test to break this low, and we got absolute zero follow through. So it doesn't look like there is that much lower anymore. Yeah, we pretty much just broke that support, came right into this little structure, and had no follow through from the bears. All right, let's take a look at gold and silver. So this is exactly what the bull want to see. Talked about not shorting this guy because you never want to short when it's all-time highs. There's no real resistance. It's like where are you going to short, right? It's like maybe here when we're a little bit of a triple top. But that's fine. Like if you have here, and you're coming into it and you just short right there and place a tiny stop loss right over there, and you get stopped out for pennies, then it's fine. You can give that a try. Other than that, really, it's not. Why not just go long, right? If you bought the higher low here, right, over the pivot, set the stop loss right here, right, you still be riding at the moment. Yeah, that's why we always talk about follow this trend. That being said, let's take a look, see if there's any signs of red flags. So this was the last higher low, and then this was the next higher low, and this is the pretty much the most recent higher low set here. Right, pivot set, next bounce, pivot set, next move up, another pivot set. We just broke above Thursday's high, so that means this is the pivot being set. So if bears want to really do anything, they would have to break 3751 low to negate the uptrend. But honestly, if we just break 3751, I wouldn't be too alarming either. We still have this whole sideways structure here that's been built up as support at the moment. So if the bears can't break this structure around this 3676, they're not really going anywhere, right? We can just pull back a tiny bit here and consolidate. It becomes a weekly bull flag, right? And then next thing you know, we follow through on the weekly bull flag. So no signs of red flag at this moment. But yeah, the red flag would be when we crack below 3632 and then bounce, and then this whole area acts as resistance, and then makes that lower high and lower low and come from a daily downtrend back into 3535 where we broke off from. And then we actually cracked below here where we took like 3 months to break out from. That would likely potentially mark a temporary top if that happens. Yeah. So far, none of that's happening at the moment, but I'm just giving you guys what the bear scenario will look like if it does happen. At the moment, exactly what the bull want to see. Gold hitting new highs. The alts, so this silver is like alts, right? Kind of like Bitcoin hitting new highs, Ethereum getting pumped, kind of thing. And then you see all the altcoins getting pumped. Yeah, so we're getting relative strength continuing. So this is what relative strength look like. Get these big move up while the main guy moves up a little bit, right? Breaking out a little bit, and then the alts gets like 2-3 times with the move. So very clear relative strength in silver at the moment. So if gold continues its uptrend, right, breaks these highs, what do you want to see is silver make another couple legs up? It probably needs to chill a little bit. That being said, I thought we are in a strong uptrend, but even if we make a couple legs up, maybe we'll get some kind of consolidation around here to chill a little bit, right? To breathe a little bit after a sprinting like You could just think of it as like sprinting 400 meters, right? You take a break before you can go further on this move. And if the consolidation, when we see the consolidation happens, and if it's healthy, then it's probably going to gear up for the next move. But if we do see the consolidation not healthy, right? So gold pulls back a little bit, and you see silver like dump, right? Then obviously that's probably going to mark the top, temporary top for some kind of move. Then that's not healthy consolidation. But if it's healthy, then we'll know, and I'll update you guys next week. So, all right, that's all for you guys. Feel free to like, share, and support the channel. And I'll see you guys next week for more stock market and commodities update. Have a great rest of you guys' weekend. Take care.